Oh, and there we go. We are live now. You can see us. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, to those who are listening on the audio experience, massively appreciate you giving me your ear wherever you are listening to this. Come and join us live next time. Going to be live every Monday night, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. UK time, for one of two Periscopes. If you join us for the first time, tonight is something I call Motivation and Mind Hacks, and that is exactly that. It's a basically presentation on something that's going to get you more motivated, going to get you more productive, ultimately going to help you get further in and out of your acting career faster. If you're an actor, these are kind of tailored to actors sometimes they're not, but a lot of the stuff that we talk about is universal, so it applies to absolutely every single human being on the planet. If you're human, you're going to benefit from what we talk about tonight, even though I'm going to kind of lightly dust it with an acting industry kind of coating. It's still absolutely applicable to every human being on the planet, so do stick around if you found this by accident, stumbled across it, and you're like, I'm not an actor, but hang around. You know, you might make some friends. Give everybody a nice welcome. Everyone who's watching, who's regular. Patrick has just joined us. Thank you, Patrick. So first of all, I want to say a massive thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody who has opted in to basically watch the free Bulletproof Actor mindset coaching series that I put out this week. Up to now, when I look at the stats in the back end of who's watched these videos, they've actually been watched over 4,000 times. I don't know if that's 4,000 unique hits. Obviously, there's going to be people watching video 1, same people will be watching video 2, but there's been 4,000 plays on these videos that I've been putting out, which is absolutely incredible. And some of the comments that people have left under these videos. So far, I've released 2 videos of a 3-part series. It's called Bulletproof Actor, and it's a 3-part coaching series, all to do with mindset, positive psychology, and ultimately breaking down people's bullshit limiting beliefs about what they can and can't achieve in their lives. People are putting roadblocks between them and success every single day of their lives, ultimately because of no one else to blame but themselves. You know, past experiences that happened 10 years ago are still limiting people today. I've seen it happen for years and years and years, and a couple of years ago I decided I was going to do something about it. I launched a full mindset coaching program for actors called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. That actually launches the full program this Thursday, but every time before I actually launch that program, I put out some free training that still in itself is life-changing. The comments I've had under these videos, guys, if you go to bulletproofactor.com and just opt in to get the free videos, they're only going to be available until this Thursday at midnight. It's incredible. Seriously, it astounds me every single time the impact that these videos have. So if you haven't yet got these videos, get to bulletproofactor.com now. Watch the first 2, because video 3, the final and the most impactful video of them all, drops tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. UK time. It's only going to be available until Thursday night, though, at midnight. So you've only got a few days to watch it. The reason that I do that and I take the videos down is not to be cruel or to be a dick. It's purely because of what we are going to talk about tonight, and that is procrastination. Someone said to me once, a mentor of mine, Ross, what's the worst nation on earth? And I was like, don't know. I mean, there's some pretty bad nations around right now. He's like, no, procrastination. He wasn't very funny, but it hit home. Procrastination really is the worst nation to live in, and so many people, and I know most people on this scope tonight are going to be living there right now. So the reason I take these videos down is to force people to take action. Good evening, Brian. And Bobby says it's a hilariously bad pun. It is. It wasn't my pun, though, Bobby. But yeah, so I take these down, purposely. They're available for 7 days, just twice a year. This year, it's probably only going to be once, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to have time to run this program again in 2017. So they will go away until 2018. But bulletproofactor.com, join those 4,000 people that have already, watched these videos, because they will give you an edge. I promise you. This isn't like some bullshit marketing cheesy stuff. This is real coaching, that will have an impact on your life. Somebody said before on the videos, underneath the videos, who were like, people, charge hundreds of pounds for this sort of stuff. I was like, I know, but I like to give value. Obviously, there is the full program, the full Bulletproof Actor program that launched on Thursday, where there is a fee associated with that, but this training is still life-changing if you take it. I just want as many people through the free stuff as possible. If you have no intention of joining me for the full program, I don't care. Please do yourself a favor and just go and watch those 3 free videos, okay? So moving on to what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys. I'm going to put up a PDF for you now. 5 reasons you are still procrastinating. This is in and out of your acting career, all right? This isn't just as actors. Brian says he loves the videos. Thanks so much. My pleasure, Brian. But yeah, we did a scope a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, on ultimately refocusing on our goals for this year. And I want to talk about that tonight because we all agreed with the stuff that was in that training. You know, we looked at ways to refocus on your goals when it's in the messy middle. So June's the middle of the year. And it's generally when people have lost track on them. And we're like, look, are you taking care of yourself? You know, are you asking the right questions? You're asking empowering questions around your goals. You're getting up in the morning and asking shit questions like, you know, oh, when am I ever going to make it? When am I ever going to have some success? You know, when am I ever going to look like that? Why can't I ever get lucky? Those really disempowering bullshit questions. Or are you asking yourself positive, inspiring questions like, you know, what impact can I make in the world today? What positive impact can I make? You know, what can I do today that's going to get me closer to achieving my goals? Positive questions. We looked at those, and then also we looked at ultimately getting someone to help you get perspective on what it is you want to achieve this year. And that might be a nice thing, going out and getting a coffee with someone and going, listen, these are my goals. What do you think of them? Have you got any kind of perspective on these you can give me that I'm not seeing? Sometimes it's good to ask yourself the question as well. You know, what good is there in the situation I'm in now that I'm not seeing right now? You know, what good is there here that I cannot see at this moment? Because you're not looking for it, because you're just focusing on the fact that you're not achieving your goals. So we looked at that, and I want to kind of expand on that tonight, because I know a lot of people will have been nodding their head along to that Periscope and be going, yeah, that all makes sense. But I don't know how many people will have taken action over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we did that. So before we start, if you could do us a massive favour, if you're watching on Periscope, please just give this a share. You just need to hit the 3 buttons bottom right hand corner, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook if you like. If you're watching on Facebook Live, massively appreciate if you gave this a share to your timeline. Like I say, it's for actors, but it applies to everybody. Even if you don't have loads of actors in your stream, if people do get their eyes on it, they're going to get some impact on it. Thank you, Fanny. Thank you, Julia. Appreciate it. Thank you, Brian, for doing that. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. It means a lot. So yeah, let me sort of move on with this presentation, and we're going to get into this. It shouldn't be a long Periscope this tonight, guys, because I don't want to procrastinate on helping you guys not procrastinate. All right, so we should probably get this done in about 30 minutes. But it's short but sweet. All right, it's powerful. Okay, so we've done the sharing bit. That's the slide for the sharing bit. For those who are new, that's how you share. Click the 3 dots, click share, and then share it on Facebook or Twitter. But thank you to everyone who's already done that. So, like I said, 3 weeks ago, right, I presented a live broadcast exactly like this on here tonight. It was a Monday night, and it was all about goal setting and ultimately getting refocused on your goals midway through the year. It's what a mentor of mine, Michael Hyatt, classes the messy middle. It's the part where everybody kind of loses track, feels they've let themselves down, starts going, oh, it's not going to happen for me this year, I'll just wait till next year, bullshit, all that sort of nonsense. And everybody who's on here tonight, and those listening on the audio experience, you might have listened to it already. You might have listened to it on the replay, or you might have saw it on the replay on actsonthis.tv or on YouTube, because I plaster these Periscope and Facebook broadcasts everywhere. You all agreed with what was presented, and you're like, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. But I want to know, genuinely, how many of you have followed through with what was discussed? Because I'm going to start keeping all of you lot way more accountable than I have been doing, really. Because I often just present these on a Monday night, and then I just let you roll with them. I never really check in that much with whether people have actually followed through on what we spoke about. So I'm going to do that tonight, because accountability, as we're going to learn, is a really important part of actually hitting your goals, all right? So today, I saw this. Zoe's here. Zoe, thanks for joining us. Today I saw this, and you're going to laugh at this, right? But this was the impetus. This was the catalyst for why I wanted to do this scope tonight. Thank you, Marco, for sharing this on Twitter. It was this, okay? Give me some hearts. Tap the screen if you're watching on Periscope if you relate to this. This is familiar with you. For those who are listening on the audio experience, it's a picture of Kermit the Frog. And it is, Melinda, good evening. It is animated if you're looking at this. It's a GIF. It's not on the screen on this presentation, but it is when you're looking at it. And Kermit's looking a bit worried. And he says, look, almost halfway through 2017, and I've lost no weight. I haven't learned anything. I haven't made any effort to save money. Still ugly. All right? And I've seen it all over Facebook today. It's one of those things that kind of went viral today. But I know there's a lot of people, let's not go into the whole ugly body issue thing at the bottom of that, right? But if we have a look at the other things you can really, really kind of most people will have set goals on, and you can really action. I haven't learned anything. Well, there's no real excuse, for that. I've not made any effort to save money. You know, whatever your goals were, ultimately, this meme or this little GIF is ultimately about people realizing halfway through the year they've screwed up like quite badly. Now, there's two options we have here. We can basically write off the rest of the year and go, we're going to start again in 2018. Or we can actually look at why this has happened in 2017. That's what we're going to do tonight. And we're going to fix it. And we're going to have no more bullshit procrastination from everybody, at least who's on this Periscope tonight or is on Facebook Live tonight, all right? So, the problem I am seeing with lots of people right now is that, one, they almost know what they want. Two, they almost know what they should be doing to get it. 3, they are almost taking action. 4, but they are forgetting one critical thing. What do you reckon? Knowing me, for those who know me quite well and you tune in all the time, what do you think I'm going to say now on the next slide? What are these people who almost know what they want, almost know how they're going to get it, and almost are taking action? What are they actually forgetting? Jen, good evening. Caroline, good evening as well. What are they forgetting? One critical thing that I bang on about all the time. One very, very critical thing that those people are forgetting, and this is why they're procrastinating. Or it's definitely one of the reasons. We're going to look at 5 tonight, but this is one of the biggest things I just think people forget so often. Implement, says Steve. Well, kind of, but more simple than that, mate. This is really like not a clever answer. This is like just something that's so basic. Soup. I'm having a coffee. I shouldn't be having a coffee at this time of night. Super, super basic. Just do it, says Bobby. Well, that's a good philosophy that we learned about in book club. Nike's philosophy, obviously. Just do it. Goal setting, says Caroline. This is all kind of generally in goal setting. Start, says Fanny. Well, that's very basic. Yeah, start. That's something that people are probably forgetting. They're forgetting this. They're forgetting this. So crucial. That they are going to fucking die. All right? This is just critical. Absolutely critical. All right? There is no faster way of actually getting back on track than realizing you are going to die. And I hope it's not for a while, for a long time, but we're all gonna die one day, all right? And for me, there's nothing sort of more effective in giving me a kick up the ass when I'm going, oh, I'm procrastinating. Should I do this? Should I do that? Or fear is creeping in, or I'm allowing practicality to dress itself up as fear. It's like, actually, Ross, you know what? At the end of the day, mate, one day you're going to die and no one's going to give a shit, basically, about whether you were scared to do that thing or that thing. And you're not going to care. You know, all you're going to do is, if you don't do this, is ultimately regret the fact that you haven't done it, you didn't achieve it, you didn't go for it, you didn't go to bed that night with the tank empty, you can't look yourself in the mirror and actually, say, yeah, I gave it my all. A psychic told me I'd leg it at 37, says Bobby. Well, Bobby, how old are you, mate? Because if that's true, come on, let's start capitalising, all right? Every cloud, let's start using that to empower us, not to let us down, Bobby. If you're going at 37, mate, let's start making some use of this, right? 25, you got 12 years. Okay, I hope that doesn't happen, mate. I'm sure it won't. But you know what? I tell you what, Bobby, if you started living your life today, mate, like you were going to die at 37, you would live a very different life to the one you are living today. I really, truly believe that. And this is really sad, right? I've got 2 friends who are my age. I'm 34. I've got one friend, a lad called James, who's 33 or 34, who's got a stage 4 brain tumour. And he won't put a date on his life expectancy, but the doctors have. He knows it. He just won't talk about it publicly. And we've known about this for a couple of years. And the harsh reality is, I don't know how long this guy's going to got left, but it's serious. It's really very, very serious. Okay, there's another girl who I used to, we used to hang around in a group of guys and girls when I was younger, in my early 20s, in the local bars and stuff. A girl called Elsa, lovely girl, again my age, got MND, and basically her and her family, I mean, she's incredible, her mindset is incredible, but are having to watch her body completely just give up on itself, to the point where she's bedridden, can't move, and she posts pictures of us all back in the day, like out and about on Facebook, and she must look at that and going, wow, I didn't realise at the time how lucky I was to be doing that. She, the girl can't walk now, bless her, and ultimately, her body is deteriorating. Motor neurone disease, Caroline, and it's horrific. And I promise you, if these people got a second chance, we could remove James's brain tumour, we could get rid of Elsa's MND. They would not be procrastinating like most of us do. You know, most people watching or listening to this now, they really wouldn't. And I don't know if everyone in here actually gets it. I don't know if you just step back for a second and realize how amazing that actually is. Do you actually really like get it? That one day that is going to be you. And it's not a matter of placating this and you know, with some like, oh, well, we don't know how lucky we are. No, we don't. But I want people to start actually acting on this shit. Don't just give it a little comment like, oh, well, that's a shame or whatever, and then not actually use this stuff to fuel you. Because you think, you know, Elsa and James are really going to be bothered what a casting director might think of them or an agent might think of them, you know, by sending an email or phoning them up or something like that. Do they really give a shit when ultimately, you know, they ain't going to see 35, 36? You know, it's just real talk, right? And I think people just forget that they are going to die. And then they just procrastinate. And, you know, ultimately they just give their life away. And there are good people on this earth who would have your life tomorrow and swap places with you. So if you're just throwing your opportunity away, then I have no sorrow for you. I'm just like, you need some self-awareness. I just need people to have a big jolt of self-awareness to go, you know what, I have this opportunity in front of me now. What the fuck am I doing? Bothered about what other people think? Why am I scared of putting this video out on Facebook or Twitter or, you know, wherever it's going, you know, because of some people, what they might think of me? And these are people who might not even know me. Why am I bothered about what some troll who doesn't even know me might say on a video? Or, you know, it's utter bullshit. Okay, so that's one massive thing I think people are forgetting, that you are actually going to die one day, all right? We can't procrastinate on actually what we want to do. People have got to start living on here. Otherwise, you're going to die having never lived. And that would be like the ultimate tragedy, basically. So that's what I want people to remember. But now I'm going to go through 5 things that I think are stopping people from... I've been scared of getting in touch with someone, so this is hitting home to Steve. Steve, just get in touch. Doesn't matter, mate. Any one of us could get a diagnosis of something really shit tomorrow, and I hope none of us do. You know, and then are you really going to care? Just do it. You know, if you can't do that, you ain't ever going to have success. That's ultimately, you know, if none of you can do this, can actually, in terms of just reaching out and asking life for what you want, you're mugging yourselves off. So, right, when they don't realise that they are going to die and don't remember that, I needed that kick up the pants, Ross. Thanks for the straight talking. Anytime, carry on. I'm here all the time for this shit. So they procrastinate, right, and they get nothing done, okay? And just give me a yes in the comments if you've procrastinated today. And this isn't like to shout at you or anything like that. It's just actually all of us to get that self-awareness to go, you know what, there was something I could have done today I didn't do because I procrastinated. I watched that video on Facebook of that cat playing with that budgie, you know, or whatever. So Brian's giving me a yes. Thanks for your honesty, Brian. You know, there's been a few minutes today. I wouldn't have seen that meme, that Kermit the Frog meme, had I not been scrolling through Facebook. I mean, I spent a lot of time on Facebook through marketing for Act on this and the Bulletproof Actor program I'm running at the moment. But there was definitely a few minutes today I could have done, stuff with that I didn't. I ended up looking at a cat dangling over a baby in a cot and the baby laughing its head off. You know, not the biggest crime in the world. I still got an awful lot done. But if I'd have done that for 3 or 4 hours, then there's not really an excuse for that. Like I say, there are people who would gladly take up that time from you. So let's look at 5 reasons this may be the case why we're all procrastinating, all right? This is why it's happening, okay? Number 1, right? You are still not clear on your goals. And I know it sounds like I'm beating the same drum sometimes, week in and week out, okay? But clarity is the first stepping stone of anything, of achieving anything in your life. If you ain't got clarity, guys, you're actually you're dead in the water to begin with, all right? And goals that lack clarity are merely wishes, okay? Carrie Ann says, I know I wasted time. But thanks for your honesty, Carrie Ann. So, you know, a goal like, I mean, you know, it's a bit mental, innit? I've gone a bit to town here, but I'd like to make £1 million this year. Wouldn't we all right? It's just a shit goal, okay? It's not, you've got no clarity, no idea how you're going to get it. To relate this to acting, you know, I see a lot of people and they do set goals like this and they're not right. I'd like more auditions this year. It's not a goal. It's just a wish. It's a bullshit goal. There's no clarity at all in that. So I just want to go over a couple of goals. What do you think will be better than I'd like more auditions this year? Okay, what would be a better goal than I would like more auditions this year? Give me some suggestions now. Type them in Facebook or type them in Periscope. I'll have a look. What would be a better goal than I would like more auditions this year. And we're looking for clarity, okay? So it can still be around auditions and getting more auditions, but what's a better way to actually set that goal with clarity? Make it specific. A set amount of jobs by a certain date, most definitely, Fanny. That's good, really good. I would like to be seen twice in 6 months. We can do even better than this, though. We can do even better than this, guys. They're definitely better than I'd like more auditions, without a doubt. You know, give you that. But we can get even more specific so we know what action we have to take to achieve that thing. The more specific and the more clarity we can get, the easier it is ultimately. To have an agent by the end of the year, still not specific enough, Bobby. Still not specific enough, man. It's, you know, it's better than I want an agent. You've at least made it time bound by the end of the year, but it's not. So I've got an example, and this isn't the be all and end all. This is just one example I quickly knocked up. I'd like to be seen by Jenny Radcliffe. She's the casting director for Coronation Street, by the way. I'd like to be seen by Jenny Radcliffe in an audition for Coronation Street by September the 1st, 2017. Okay? It's super specific. You've named the show. You've named the casting director. You know, it's time-bound. It's measurable because you know whether you've done it or not. It's actionable. You can chunk that down into little bits. I mean, look at that in a minute. But ultimately, you're like, right, I actually know exactly what I want and by when. And I'm not saying by the end of the year, because that would be giving me 6 whole months to do this. I don't need 6 months necessarily to do this. We can make this easier than than a lot of people kind of make it out to be. Because ultimately, we need to figure out what it is we want, and then we need to go and ask for that thing, all right? People overthink this so much, but ultimately, say it all the time, life will pay any price you ask of it. What are you asking for? A lot of people don't know what they're asking for, okay? If you haven't set a clear destination on where you want to go, right? I've not had contact with my agent since December last year. Is that right? No, Brian, absolutely not right at all. But you know what, Brian? The phone works both ways, mate. So if they ain't phoned you, why haven't you phoned them to this point? Why have you waited over 6 months of the year to even check in with your agent to see if they're even alive? I shouldn't joke about that, actually. Someone did lose their agent, did unfortunately die last year. But if they hadn't, if that wasn't kind of well publicised and they'd not heard him in 6 months, they wouldn't even know that. So yeah, why have you left it so long, man? Come on, we've got to start taking action. You know, this is like your responsibility. I promise you, like, indifference like that is where acting careers go to die. We can't be indifferent about whether we've heard from one of the key players in our career. You can't do it, man. You can't just go for 6 months going, this person is supposed to be in control of my career. You wouldn't do it in any other walk of life. If a builder was building you a house, Brian, you'd go and check on its progress, wouldn't you, man? Surely, over 6 months, you'd go and see if the foundations had been laid, see how many bricks had been put down. You'd maybe have a chat about, what kitchen units you want putting in. Could I buzz her? Is that kosher? Yeah, man. Well, why wouldn't it be? Why? Has she got a phone? Why would you have a phone if she didn't want you to ring her? Oh, come on. I mean, this is like real, like, bullshit. What's the fear? You've got fear in your mind, Brian, of if I ring this agent, they'll think I'm mithering them and then they'll sack me. Well, you know what? If an agent's not got you even, a sniff of anything in 6 months, then you ain't got anything to lose anyway, have you? You have to get in touch with them. Have a real frank chat. And if something's not working out, man, it's time to look at alternative means of gaining work. All right? Don't hold back. People keep stepping back in life. Okay, so if you haven't set a clear destination, got on the screen there, don't be surprised if you can't seem to get any momentum because you don't know where you're going. Mary says, I like these specific goals, Ross. You've got to be specific, Mary. Super specific. And also, you know what, though? To make specific goals, you've got to know your shit. There's a difference between knowing your shit and knowing you are shit, all right? You've got to start living, breathing, eating this industry so you know who is where, who is casting what, at where, when, who's off on maternity leave, who's covering for them, all these kind of things. And the only way you do that is by talking to a lot of people, talking to your agent, Brian, networking in the Acts on This Facebook group. Look at all of the news I post on Acts on This TV every day. So today I wrote an article on Acts on This because the exec producer of EastEnders is standing down to work on his own films. And you might go, well, I don't need to know that. That's bullshit. Yes, you do. You absolutely do need to know stuff like that. This is supposed to be an industry you're in love with. You can't see yourself doing anything else. I've always wanted to act. Well, why do you know nothing about the industry then? You clearly don't want to do it. You just want significance from being famous or some bullshit like that. Right? We've got to get clear on what we want. All right. So that's, a way better goal than I want more auditions this year. I'd like to be seen by Jenny Radcliffe in an audition for Coronation Street by September the 1st, 2017. Boom. That's a goal you could have, okay? Some people might not be that far along. They might be looking for an agent, okay? It's kind of rare you would get that without an agent, but it does happen. You could absolutely, go for that on your own if you knew the right, ultimately, you know what? It's not hard, just the right contact details. You need to find Jenny's email address. And I can tell you, for everybody, if you're looking for anyone at a big organisation like ITV or BBC, it's very simple. It's generally first name dot second name at itv.com or at bbc.co.uk. So if I worked at ITV and you were guessing my email, piece of piss, ross.grant@itv.com. Right? Not hard. That's how it works. Number 2, all right? This is why people procrastinate, because they still don't know why the hell they're doing it. They don't know why they're even in this industry or what they're doing with their lives. Ultimately, their why they want that thing, what their desire is. Steve says he sent emails to all of them, all the same. There you go, Steve. Exactly. So motivation matters, right? It really effing matters. I've got on the screen there. I don't want to keep swearing, but I feel I have to sometimes. So when you get stuck, step back and just ask yourself the simplest question on earth. Why do I want to reach this goal again? Ultimately, why am I doing it? And find your reasons. And that might be to make more money, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with making money. A lot of people say, I don't need money. I don't need money to be happy. Well, you know what? That's really selfish. Because, no, you might not need money. But you know what? Your kids need money. Your mum might need money. Your family might need money. Your charities around you might need money. If you're religious, your church might need money. Or, people need money. So if you don't need money, don't be so selfish and go, well, that just means I don't have to have any success then. Because it's fine, I don't need money to be happy. Then it's fine. Well, you know what? Why don't you go and have some success to benefit other people who need money? This country's, lacking right now. We need people earning money and giving back. Caroline loves money, she says. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as you're not ripping people off and being dishonest in the way you earn it, ultimately money is going to give you the freedom to do what you want and make the impact you want to make on the world. So if your reason, your why is money and that really motivates you, that's okay. Don't feel guilty about that. It might be to feel a sense of accomplishment. Simply as that. I want to be fulfilled. I want to take more time off. I want to contribute to a great cause or my partner or my family. Just reconnect with why you're doing this. Because sometimes, I meet a lot of actors and ultimately when they tell me their issues right now, they're really not enjoying this industry. And I'm like, why are you even doing this? You got into this apparently because you wanted to do it and have fun. All you're telling me is how miserable this industry's making you. Well, why don't you just leave? You don't have to do this. You get to be an actor. You don't have to be an actor. And I don't mean that in a horrible way, like as in get out. I mean, for your own benefit, to be happier in life, go and do something that's going to bring you more fulfillment. Caroline wants a new kitchen. That's why she's doing it. Caroline, I hope you get that new kitchen. Definitely, but find your reasons why you want to do it. Patrick says, yes, again, true. So whatever your key motivations, when you find yourself dragging your feet and I'm going to have 10 more minutes in bed, or I'm going to roll over or whatever, just stop to remind yourself why you wanted to do this in the first place. Reconnect with why. And when you do reconnect with your why, it's always going to help you. It's like a little reboot, resetting, restarting. Okay, so that's point number 2, why people procrastinate, because you still don't know your why. Okay. Number 3, you're not chunking down. And people are like, what the hell does this mean? Well, let me explain. Very simple. Goals are big things that are going to take a lot of effort over time to accomplish, all right? We ain't going to be Hollywood superstars overnight, all right, unless we win some kind of crazy, lottery somehow. Actors get stuck focusing on the enormity of big success, and they often get beaten back by those already experiencing more of that than them. And it doesn't have to be massive success. Someone might, you might be going along quite happily, and then you just see a tweet or you get a text of one of your mates or someone in the same casting bracket as you gets seen for something, or their agent puts a tweet out, blah blah blah, will be has just been confirmed for this job, and suddenly it's like a punch in the stomach, and you're like, oh god, I'm really shit. Oh, it's just reinforced how shit I am. I'm never going to get anywhere. Why didn't I get seen for that? All right, because actors are actually focusing on the enormity of this goal of theirs. Okay, to reach your goals, focus instead on the chunks or steps that you'll need to get there. All right, and this is like really simple. You just break it down. Okay, while larger goals ought to challenge us, the steps toward getting to our goals should not. Okay, I know that feeling all too well, says Bobby. These steps need to be inside our comfort zone. So your goals need to be out of your comfort zone in what's called the discomfort zone. And there's a big difference between the discomfort zone and the delusional zone, all right? We don't want to set goals in the delusional zone. It's delusional for me to go, I'm going to be starring in the new Marvel film by June the 30th. That's 4 days, right? That's just delusional, okay? But we want to set it in a discomfort zone, so a place that scares us, not necessarily a comfort zone, okay? However, once our main goal is in the discomfort zone, we then break that discomfort down into chunks that are actually comfortable, that require little or no courage to do, okay? And the trick, they've put there in red there on the slide, so those listening on the audio experience, it says, the trick is to cut the giant into enough pieces that he is no longer menacing. Okay, so it's like, imagine trying to stick a 12-ounce fillet steak in your gob all at once. It's not going to happen unless you got, I don't know, maybe some people on here, massive gobs. However, if you use your knife and fork to chop that into 10 1-ounce pieces, you're probably going to manage it, and it ain't going to be challenging or require courage or be scary at all. So for our goal of reaching out to Jenny Radcliffe, okay, by, and getting an audition for Coronation Street by September the 1st, that might require lots of little steps, and they may be things like reaching out to existing directors who we know are working on Coronation Street right now, tweeting them our show reels, sending an email to our agent to say, do you know if Jenny Radcliffe does any general auditions? It might be sending your show reel in a direct email to Jenny herself directly from you. All kinds of things. It might be, Brian says, thanks for the kick in the ass, Ross. Pleasure, Brian. It might be, asking your acting tutor if there's any chance he could get Jenny Radcliffe into sitting on a lesson. There's loads of ways to chunk a big goal down, okay? And then if your goal then requires, well, you know what? Jenny wants to see a show reel of me. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Exactly, Carrie-Anne. If you go, okay, well, you know what? Jenny won't see me unless I've got a show reel. She wants to see me acting. You go, okay, right. Well, that's now a chunk in my big goal. Now I've got to chunk that show reel down into chunks. And that might be saving up money each week till I can afford to get a scene shot from scratch, finding a partner, writing a script, whatever it is. But it ain't going to happen overnight. But if we look at the enormity of it, and that's all we focus on, we shit our pants, we feel really, deflated. Anyone else is having more success than us, we feel envious of. It doesn't spur us forward. It's much harder to celebrate other people's success when you're not working towards it yourself. And ultimately, you procrastinate, okay? So chunk down your goals, and you're going to find it way easier, okay? To eat that steak 10 bites at a time. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, so many people, and this includes me occasionally as well, like I really, really do fall foul of this. You are distracted by too many tasks. I'm a bit of a one-man band here at actsonthis's.tv, so I do everything. Same at Bulletproof Actor. I film everything. I edit everything. I mean, this Periscope tonight, I'm broadcasting it. I'm producing it. I wrote the slides, everything. Sometimes I end up with too many tasks and it becomes overwhelming. If left unchecked, the whirlwind of activity around your life in general will constantly distract you from reaching your goals. So what we need to do at this point is simplify as much as we can. And the most helpful thing that I've spoken about on multiple Periscopes and Facebook Live broadcasts up to now is what I call the big 3. The concept of the big 3, all right? And that is basically that you should only have 3 main tasks per day. This has changed my life, in terms of productivity. I've shown people that I use a tool called Workflowy at workflowy.com, spelt work and then Flowy. It's a free app, and it's basically just to create lists. It couldn't be more simple. It's the most boring-looking app in the world, but it's one of the most effective apps at getting shit done. And you just select the night before what your big 3 for the day after is going to be. That's me too, says Carrie-Anne. Too many tasks. It's life's getting faster, Carrie, and ultimately, the more technology, enables us to do more and more and more. Julia says me too. Brian's saying the same as well. But yeah, technology is a wonderful thing. It enables us to do lots of things at once, but it's also a bit of a double-edged sword because sometimes we can just take too much on. So we've got to simplify. 3 things a day. You know what? Maybe your 3 for tomorrow, if you set that goal to see Jenny Radcliffe, one of them would just be to write an email to your agent or call your agent, Brian, because you're not going to be scared to phone them now. I write list night before and take off next day. I'm obsessed with it. It was great, Fanny. Honestly, it's good. It's good. Don't write too many lists. You don't want to be overwhelmed by waking up in the morning to a list of 20 things. But write down your big 3. And there's another element to this as well, all right? You can also have a small list, Fanny, of non-essential tasks that can be handled at the beginning or the end of the workday. So you want to do your big 3 first. Don't focus on anything else. Eat the frog first. Do the big 3 first, all right? And then you might have a small list of things to do. You could do it very first thing, I suppose, maybe one of your things is I've got to work out today. And obviously, that's or maybe that's one of your big 3 as well, whatever it is that's, priority for you. You could do stuff before breakfast, but I think once you've had your breakfast and you showered and you're ready, I would start whilst you've got that kind of momentum. I feel great after a shower. I feel awake. I wouldn't want to start on my little things then. I want to start my big 3 at that point. But you can have a little list that you can do at the very beginning of the day or the end of the workday. But your attitude to these is that, if I get them done, it's all right. And if I don't, it's fine. It's fine too. Not bothered. These are just things that aren't my big stuff. It's not totally essential. But if I get them done, bonus. I'm going to go to bed feeling even more fulfilled, So you've got your big 3 and then your little, however many. Doesn't have to be a set amount. But focus on your big 3. So Fanny says, that's her problem. She ends up, kind of leaving the big stuff till the end of the day or whatever. Get it done. Get it done, Fanny, as soon as you, as soon as you can attack it in the morning. I degrade myself if I've not completed every task. You shouldn't do that either. You got to be you got to be your biggest fan, guys. If you are not your biggest fan, you've lost. You've lost this game straight away. If you are not your biggest fan, you've already lost. That doesn't mean arrogance or anything like that. It's a confidence. Is that the one Ross used before his big audition? What's that, Caroline? Which one? Oh, you're talking about Line Learner. I've been missing the comments. If you're talking about learning lines, Line Learner was definitely what I use to learn lines before auditions. It's very, very good. I used it for the first time before that BBC audition that I'm filming later this month, in July, sorry. It was really, really good. So yeah, so you've got your big 3, and then you've got the stuff that you're not that bothered about if you get done or not, okay? I'm my biggest fan. I know how gorgeous I am, so Steve. Excellent, Steve. That's good, man. And the number 5, guys, right? The 5th point, why people fail and procrastinate is because they have no baked-in accountability, okay? I've got here on this slide, those on the audio experience, it says, get a freaking accountability partner in the Acts on This Facebook group. Okay, you need someone who will hold you accountable without succumbing to your excuses. I will suffocate the shit out of anyone's excuse for why they can't do something. And if I sound harsh, sometimes I sound harsh. Someone asked me if I would keep the Bulletproof Actor videos open later than Thursday night because they were going to France and they had a job and then an audition to prepare for. I'm like, I'm sorry, no. Because if I don't set that deadline, I don't stick to that deadline. Next time I say I'm going to do a deadline, then you're not going to believe me. And then I was like, look, if you want it, you're going to find a way to do it. If you don't, you're going to find an excuse. Got a message this morning from her, and she said, I was leaving at 5:30 this morning, but I stayed up till 1:30 watching those videos. Don't know if it was a mistake or not, but I'm pretty tired, but I did it. And I'm like, fair play, because that is taking action. I've kind of held you accountable. You've gone with it, done it, boom. And that's what you've got to do. We need people that hold us accountable. So I've got a few people in my life that hold me accountable. Recently, I'm going to start a new business actually this year. Very interesting. It's mental, guys, moving into clothing, but I'll tell you all about that at some point. A men's clothing range. But yeah, and a new business partner. We keep each other completely accountable. And then I have other people in my life who keep me accountable for my goals in my acting career. I've got we need multiple mentors and multiple accountability partners who ultimately will just look through your bullshit and go, no, that's an excuse. I've hurt my arm in the gym. I must have ever done it a couple of days ago, so I won't go for 3 days. No, why don't you go to the gym and do legs? Doesn't even require your arms. Stop wussing out. Can people ask for accountability partner in that sense community? Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Carrie-Anne. So get yourself in the Facebook group if you want to do this. We have a Facebook group for the Bulletproof Actor program as well. Anyone who's coming on that, on the full program, I make people buddy up. And you hold each other accountable for the whole 5 weeks we're doing this program. And it just works. It flat out works, particularly when people don't know each other or that well because they feel like they'd let that other person down. Don't use your mum or your best friend as your accountability partner because they'll let you off. They'll go, oh, Fanny, yeah, no, I feel a bit tired as well. Should we go and have a glass of wine? No, right? No, that's not it. You need someone who's kind of like not your best friend who will stand up to you and go, well, actually, you know what? You need to raise your standards because that's shit. You've let me down. We came here and let our hair down, not let ourselves down, and you've let yourself down there. So their purpose ultimately in this context is not to shame you, right? They're not going to totally make you feel like shit, but they're there to remind you of the road that you set out on and why getting over the finish line will be worth it because they'll know your why. You've got to share your why with this person. We're like, right, why do you want to do that? Well, you know what? Because I feel like I owe it to my kids. Or, this is something I've always wanted to do, and I know I'm going to feel so fulfilled when I've done it. So let them know your why, and they can remind you of that when maybe you've forgotten it, okay? So to recap, these 5 things, what I want you to focus on this week, okay? Get clear on your goals. I need brutal, says Fanny. Okay? Get clear on your goals. Let's not keep having these shit goals of, I want more auditions. I want an agent by 2035. Can we get some really specific goals? If you're looking for an agent, get a list out. Go and research all your agents first and go, I would like to be represented by blah, 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 this, maybe 6 people, one of these agents by September the 30th, 2017, and start working towards that. Don't just say any agent because there's hundreds. It's not specific, right? Get clear on your goals, clear on who you want to audition for, clear on what shows you want to be in. Just clear on what you want to do with your life, right? Then identify your why. Again, make contact with why you're doing this shit. It should be fun. If you're hating it, stop doing it, right? If this is just really miserable for you and you're like, this is horrific, then you're not doing it for the right reasons, or you need to remind yourself of a better reason why you're doing this to actually give yourself some motivation internally, because you can't always rely on external motivation. You can, for a certain amount of time, get away with watching a motivational video on YouTube and it'll give you a kick up the arse for 5 minutes. A lot of people, 2-3 hours later, will be lay on their bed again going, oh, life's unfair, I'm never going to make it. We need to start developing internal motivation, so you don't need to rely on external stimulus. Okay, then number 3, chunk your goals down into manageable tasks. Really important. You ain't ever going to be able to eat it and devour that goal without, taking multiple bites at it. Number 4, focus each day on your big 3, all right? And write your big 3 down tonight. Why don't someone start a thread in the Facebook group? Maybe I'm going to do this, I might actually put a picture up in the Facebook group saying, what's your big 3? And everybody can actually write in the comments what their big 3 is. It's one way of getting accountability a little bit as well, getting a bit of accountability, I think. And then that brings me on to number 5, get an accountability partner. I can see people on here, asking if people will be their accountability partners and stuff, and that's really good. So be each other's accountability partners. It's going to help. That will help more than anything else, really, because you're going to have someone who's kind of doing it with you as well. Hugely, hugely important. So I want to end on, does anyone want to take a screenshot of that whilst it's up before I move on? These slides will be available if you listen on the audio experience on actonthis.tv in the Periscope section. You can download these from tomorrow when I actually upload it. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll find a link to the blog post in the description of the video where you can download these slides as well in HD. So yeah, if you want to take a screenshot of that, do it now. I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. And I want to end on this. I'm not going to end totally now, but I want to end the presentation on this, okay? It's a quote from Steve Jobs. It says, this goes back to the whole mortality thing, guys. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life, because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. If you're gonna take a screenshot of anything, take a screenshot of that. Because that's it. Ultimately, if I could bottle that and give you that every morning to just as a drink or as a pill, to give you that self-awareness to go, look, this is ultimately what I need to focus on. No, I honestly, oh God, I just couldn't care less whether somebody thought the email that I'd sent them was right or wrong, because I know my intention is always going to be pure. I ain't going to really be mithering people or, wasting their time. If I'm sending something to them, I'm sending something to them for a reason. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of asking someone on the phone or jumping in a direct message on Instagram, tweeting someone, because I'm going to die one day. And so's that person I'm going to get in touch with. None of us are going to care about what the other one's done. And whilst you are alive on this planet, man, you have so much opportunity that I don't think you're even giving yourself credit for. You don't realize how lucky you are. 143,000 people died today. You ain't one of them, right? If you listen on the audio experience and you woke up this morning, you're walking at the gym right now listening to this podcast, you beat 143,000 people worldwide yesterday. What are you doing with your life today? Because any one of those people would have swapped places with you like that today. People mourning their mums, their dads, their brothers, their sisters all around the world. And you're walking around with some bullshit. Oh, life's not fair. Acting is just really hard. Oh, I've not got this. It's bollocks. Just sort it out. Realize your mortality. It's so powerful, guys. So powerful. For those who are joining us for the first time, I've been a bit sassy tonight. I'm not normally kind of like this, but I just had a bit of a rally tonight on that, really. You can join me on Periscope and on Facebook Live now. I need to update this slide. So I'm doing this broadcasting to the Facebook page at facebook.com/Act On This TV. We also have a Facebook group as well that I was talking about, which is facebook.com/groups/Act On This TV. And then Periscope as well is periscope.tv/Act On This TV. And Periscope is owned by Twitter, so you might even be watching this right now on my Twitter stream. And that's cool. Let me know where you're actually viewing this from, Give me some retweets, or if you are watching it on Twitter, hit me up at Act On This TV. Tag me in your Instagram post. Let me know what's going on. But let me know what you think as well, and whether this has been, a little bit of external motivation that maybe you needed, you needed to hear. I think we all need to hear it sometimes. I get fired up when I'm writing these presentations, so it does the same for me as well. Definitely. But I hope it's useful and people are going to actually, start attacking what they want this week. Go and get these videos as well, guys. Bulletproofactor.com, because these follow on from what we kind of been talking about tonight. I give a formula away in this 3-part video series. Video 3 comes out tomorrow. That I promise you, this is no bullshit. It's an absolute guaranteed formula for success in anything you want in your life. And I know that sounds like the biggest load of bullshit you could possibly spout. Going, oh, what? You're going to give me a formula to be successful? It's not as easy as that. No, it is. It really, really is. Success has not changed in the last 200 years. It's the same as it was now, as it was for Henry Ford when he was inventing the motor cars. It was for the Wright brothers when they were inventing aviation. Thomas Edison when he wanted to invent the light bulb that you've probably all got on in your house right now. Success has always been the same, and there is a formula to it. If you abide by and implement the formula that I give you in video 3 of this 3-part series, which you need to watch parts 1 and 2 to understand 3, don't skip it. If you do implement this in your life, I promise you're going to win. And you will win in anything, in business, in acting, in your relationships. Are those your ripped jeans? They're not mine, Caroline. This is a model on the screen right now. For those who are on the audio experience, you can't see, but there's somebody holding an iPhone with a video of me on it. It says, use positive psychology to cultivate a mindset that guarantees acting success. I could supplement the word acting there for anything you want. Anything you want, you could put there. Relationship success, health success, physicality success, anything you like could go there, and this formula still applies. It was the thing that changed my life nearly a decade ago now, and it's a thing that I put into everything that I do when I set a goal. Thank you, watching from NYC, Marco. Love it, mate. I honestly, there's more and more people tuning in from NYC. People have been watching these Bulletproof Actor videos from New York City today. I love New York. Marco, I've only been to New York once in my life. It's absolutely, I don't know if I'd feel like I'm cheating on London if I said it was my favourite city in the world. But I think it is. I don't think there's a city cooler than NYC. You know, I would love to go and film all of my videos in New York City just because the backdrops always just look cool as hell. Caroline used to live in New York City. Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Is the second part out yet, Ross? I've seen video 1. It is, Brian. It absolutely is. Go to bulletproofactor.com and just type your name and email in again, and you'll get access to all the videos. In fact, I wonder if I can... let me see if I can show you how it works. For those who haven't done it yet, let me see if I can pull up my browser and share this with you. Oh, there's video 3 I've just pulled up. Let me just see. One sec, guys. Doing this on the fly, so it might not work. Right, wait. The screen might go black for a second. Just bear with me 1 sec, right? Oh, no, it's not. Screens, look at that. It didn't even go black for a sec. Right, let me just rearrange this so it's going to look a little bit... Oh, don't want that. A little bit better. Right, so that's video 3, which is actually coming out tomorrow. So if you go to bulletproofactor.com, it'll ask you to put your name and email address in, and then what's going to happen is you're going to see this. Okay, this is video 1, okay? And then underneath that, you've got some thumbnails here. So you've got video 2 that you can watch by clicking on that thumbnail there, Brian. It's going to take you through to video 2. Now, you'll see video 3 is greyed out with a lock over it, which means you can't view it yet. It's not going to be available until 10 a.m. UK time tomorrow. And then there's a special announcement coming on Thursday, which is ultimately where I open the full Bulletproof Actor Unstoppable Confidence Infinite Success program from 10 a.m. on Thursday. That's open for registration until Friday, the 7th of July. After that, it won't be available until 2018. It's incredible, though. It's a 5-week program. Ultimately, like super in-depth positive psychology that will absolutely change your life in every way imaginable. There's been 188 people gone through it so far. The feedback is absolutely phenomenal. All you need to do is look at some of these comments as well underneath these free videos to see the power of this training. There's some incredible stuff that people have been writing under here, and you'll see everybody. You know, I get them to talk about their limiting beliefs, what's holding them back right now. I answer every single comment. I mean, look, Rimka there says, thank you so much for sharing this knowledge with us. They're essential tools and exactly what we need as access to get through. People pay a lot of money for this through empowerment courses, so thank you. This is just my free training. I feel that Bulletproof Actor Unstoppable Confidence Infinite Success is the most effective mindset coaching program on the planet, not just for actors, you know, but just for anybody. It could be called Bulletproof Plumber, it's still be the same. And the free videos I've got here, I feel, are the second best. I give away the second best course for free. The first best program, obviously, I can't do that. But go and watch these videos. And what you'll see tomorrow, Brian, is this black one here is going to be available. It will have a little play button over it like this one, and when you hover over it, it'll kind of the color will come through on it. And then you can watch all 3. Do leave me comments underneath. I'm getting nearly 100 comments now underneath the videos, but you'll see there's so many comments here. People that are absolutely loving it. Every single comment is so positive. It's awesome. There's someone Guy from NYC as well. A non-American actor living in NYC. He had a few hang-ups about his American accent. But yeah, it's incredible, guys. Go get it. I've got to take this down on Thursday at midnight. I told you I've got to be true to my deadlines. Otherwise, you ain't ever going to believe me when I put a deadline out. And I'm not going to, I'm not doing it to be cruel or anything like that. I just need you to not procrastinate on this. Go and watch it if you're going to watch it. So that's it for tonight. Has that been useful? I can't wait to see the remainder, says Brian. Well, Brian, I can't wait to see your comments, mate, once you have. I tell you, video 3, once you've watched 1 and 2, I promise you will absolutely blow your mind. You'll be like, oh my God, how did I kind of not know about doing this? Is it worth watching these if you're doing the VIP Bulletproof? Definitely, Fanny, without a doubt. The training in this is based a little bit around one area. I mean, the full Bulletproof programs is 33 videos long. It's 5 weeks of live coaching with me as well in private group coaching calls. It's so in-depth, it's insane. This training, if you watch these 3 free videos, is going to put you in the top 10% of actors when it comes to mindset. I promise you, guarantee it. You're going to have the edge on every other actor you go into the room with, who's up for the same part as you. This is why I know most of the time when I get an audition, I'm going to kill it every single time. Because of this, because I know 9 out of 10 of the other people who are against me are going in like broken already. Their mindset is broken. Your mindset is like the foundations. You could have all the talent in the world, and if your head ain't right, you're going to lose. But But yeah, this will put you in like the top 10%. The full program will put you in the top 1%. But please go and watch the free videos. Fanny, definitely, even if you're going to do the full program, it's going to start training your mind into what we're going to talk about. It's literally about reprogramming the neurotransmitters in your head. And we can even see this on MRI scans when people are actually training their brains in this way to think differently. Different parts of your brain become thicker. We can see different parts of your brain lighting up. When you actually begin to train your thoughts and your processes in a certain way. So definitely go and watch them. The first video is only 32 minutes long. Second video is 22 minutes long. Third video is about 20 minutes. So in total, it's like, an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. And it'll change your life. I promise you guys. And I ain't a snake oil salesman. If you think this is bullshit, call me out on it because you ain't going to want to. I promise you. This is super high performance stuff. I want to be bulletproof, says Bobby. Well, Bobby, you're more than welcome to join the program, mate. But at least go and watch the free videos. If people do genuinely as well, because there's people on here tonight who have been on the waiting list since the last intake. The last intake I did of the full program was November. Wow, it's November 2016. Like I say, I can only do it once or twice a year max. This year it's only going to be once. There are people who've been on it since the 16th of November or something like that. If you want to guarantee a place and you're like, you know what, I just know I want to do this and I don't want to have to wait until the public launch, I'm opening to a very small group of people. There's about a dozen or so people on it already who I'm going to allow in the day before the public launch, which is going to be this Wednesday. If you just you know what, I don't need to see any more, I just want to do this, email me ross@bulletproofactor.com and I'm going to reserve you a place because I've only got 50 places on the VIP. I might just get what's that? I missed that, Steve. Miss your comment. Ross@bulletproofactor.com. Because there's live training in the VIP one, I can't have more than 50 people on it because otherwise we go into in depth with each person. I just can't. The calls would be 15 hours long. Some of the calls last year were 6.5, 7 hours long. Can't do more than 50. I just can't commit to that unless I start breaking it up into different groups or something like that. I don't know if I want to do that. And Fanny says, do you get an option? So what happens is if all 50 places don't go on the VIP, which hasn't happened yet, but if they didn't, what would happen is I would offer some of the live training as well to the graduates from the previous year if they want to come on for a refresher. So if you do get in this year, Fanny, next year, or maybe I'll just do it as a separate group. If people want a refresher for a really knockdown price, you could just, get the live calls. Could I go to the gym a bit more before I get my Wonder Woman outfit, says Julia. Excellent. So there is an opportunity. This is something you get lifetime access to as well. So it's something I think everyone should do once a year. You should come back to this and do it multiple times because you're going to, sometimes even, I've been through it with, like I say, over 100 actors. I wrote the course, I filmed the course. Sometimes I watch a video and get pumped up and wow, I forgot that little element that I talk about in that video. I'm going to focus on that today. And it's my program. Seriously, there is so much in this stuff. You just need to look at some of the testimonials that people have given me. I wonder if I've got one that I can finish on here tonight. Don't know if I have. Yeah, I think I might have. I'm going to see if this is a testimonial, and you can just have a look at how powerful other people think this is who have been through it. So I'm going to leave you on that, guys. And thank you so much. Me here on Wednesday night for the book club, which is Jeff Olson's The Slight Edge. Last time we're looking at this in June. Incredible book. If you've enjoyed it so far, you're going to love the next chapter we read. Get to actonthis.tv, and you can catch up on the replays. Or you can subscribe to the Act on This TV audio experience on iTunes or Stitcher. Just search for Act on This TV, all one word, on iTunes in the iTunes store. Subscribe for free, and you get the audio from all of these Periscopes. So what you've seen tonight will be available as audio tomorrow on iTunes. So if you want to catch up when you're on the go or in the car, you can do that. Alex is here. Alex, good to see you, man. Think and Grow Rich, Brian, we've done on the book club. Napoleon Hill, great book. Got it here, mate. I had it here. It's on the floor. It's a great book, but if you go to actonthis.tv, you can watch all the replays of that. Fantastic book. Really, really good. So I'm going to hopefully leave you with this testimonial. I don't know if this is queued up or if this is even going to be correct, guys. Let's see. The screen might go black. If it doesn't, you're going to hear about what some people think of Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. It's going to be available to register on this Thursday. But don't forget, the free video number 3 is out tomorrow. Bulletproofactor.com. Please go and watch it now before you go to bed. Get the first 2 videos, all right? I'll catch up with you on Wednesday. Thanks so much. Love to you all. Bye for now.
Yeah, I think a standout moment in Bulletproof Actor for me was I was flying from London to LA to shoot season 4 of Switched at Birth. And it was a really quick turnaround. I think I landed on the Tuesday, started shooting on the Wednesday. and I was quite overwhelmed because I had lots of dialogue, and I thought, I'm going to be tired, and all those sort of anxieties that you get. And I was up to the section in Bulletproof Actor that was about limiting beliefs and rewriting your story, and I suddenly realised that all the things I was worried about was because I had limiting beliefs about time. And after reading that section, subsequently felt really confident, went on set and was really pleased with the work that I did. I don't think that would have happened had I not have read that section on the plane.
I'm much happier. I'm such a positive person. Bulletproof Actor has flipped everything on its head. I'm seeing success in my acting career. I'm seeing success in physicality, working out, in a new relationship, and everything's just going 110% better than it was.
But I can honestly say it's the best course that I have ever done in my entire life. And in the last 6 months, I've had more success, more happiness than I've ever had in the 10 years of trying to make it as an actor.
I realised that all those times I'd done things before, I got anxious, I got worked up, and it just wasn't fun anymore. With Bulletproof, you take a completely different attitude. I mean, I can only talk from personal experience and say within, I think, probably 6 weeks after completion, I was offered auditions, I was up for one of the biggest casting agents in the UK and America, and since then I've seen opportunities in places that I wouldn't even have dreamt of.
I would say to anybody that's thinking of enrolling, do it, definitely. You know, in this business, it's so paramount that your mindset is right for auditions, and particularly if you want to gain consistency, good consistency in auditions, which we do, it's paramount that it's right, and it's helped me so much. There is no better investment than investing in yourself, particularly for actors.
You know, as Ross says, you know, life happens for you, not to you. So yes, do it. It's a game changer. It will change your life.